Good evening, lovelies. Welcome to this late night live. And tonight we're going to be talking about helping people tell the world who they really are, and like coming out of hiding after feeling like you have a purpose, a message, or something to say. This live is for any of you who feel like you have a message for the world, who feel like you have been the ones sitting on the other side of the screen, watching other people, build these dream lives or have these big messages and really, really craving that too, but not knowing where to start, feeling really frustrated and a lack of clarity. This message is for all of you because that is where I started from. And thanks to some amazing tools and my own journey and some principles that I've learned, I've been able to do that too. And my heart's desire is that I can make this process easy for each of you and fun and show you your unique way of doing it as well. So tonight I took some time to tune into myself, which I feel like all the women that follow me, we all know that we need to do this, but it's like last on our list. And I think it's last on our list because we know the power of it. And we know that if we actually tap into ourselves, we are immensely wise, we're immensely intuitive, and we're insanely powerful. But we just have all this resistance to actually doing it. And that's something I tapped in on last night. Hi, everyone who's joining me. It's so good to see you guys live and on the replay. And this is something we tapped on last night. Tapping on the resistance of knowing what you need to do, but just not doing it. And lots of my clients often feel like they are working all day in their minds, but they're not actually getting stuff done on the outside. They're like kind of shooting on themselves, like I should be doing this, I should be doing that, and they spend the whole day telling themselves in their head that they're not enough and they should be doing more, and they're frustrated that they're not a step further ahead. So I just want you to know if that's something you experience, that's totally something I experienced, very normal part of the process. And it's kind of like a rite of passage. I always call them the rite of passages into entrepreneurship. They're these overcoming ourselves is like the biggest step when it comes to really living life on your terms and building a business, and that is just part of it. So tonight when I sat down, I immediately, meditation used to be a kind of a conflicting idea for me because the idea of not thinking, really, I'm a verbal processor, I love to talk, that's why I love to tap, because I get to talk at the same time. It was really conflicting for me. But I've realized that meditation is just a brainwave state. It's just a feeling. And one of the tips I wanted to share with you tonight is that when it comes to tune in time with yourself, like sitting down and tuning in, what I did tonight was I just imagined myself putting on a shelf everything, shelving everything that was mentally spinning in my mind. So some of the things I put on the shelf was the podcast that I'm launching, the MLM stuff I'm putting out, the retreat stuff I have to do, the mom stuff I have to do, the funnel and branding stuff I have to do. I put everything, all the to-dos, all the areas I should be investing energy in my business, I put it on a shelf, and then I stepped back and became the observer of my life. And the message that kept coming through is connect to the you-ness that is you, or the me-ness that is me. And this is what everyone's actually craving. We think all these things, the podcasts, the funnels, the websites, the retreats, are going to give us the feeling that they want, and it might, but really what you're craving is a connection to yourself. And in order to connect to yourself, we have to put on a shelf all those other things that are distracting us, and including social media, including our phones. And so we're actually craving a feeling, craving to feel the power that we are. I could hear you in my head all day as I was working out and says, yes, I love that. I'm honored that I get to be in your head all day. And so when you guys sit down to have this time to meditate or time for yourself, really the point of not trying to be attached to what comes from it, and just experiencing the vastness of that you are. Explore, play, and create in the big, beautiful space that is you. And just honestly, it's more of a feeling into your inner being, feeling into your power, feeling into that vastness that is you, and not needing to mentally know anything, but in your heart feeling it. So that was something that really stood out for me today. And the affirmation that came through is, the more space I take, the more money I make. 100% always true. But you see, the thing is, we're in a society that is telling us opposite. So here I gather all these intuitive women who are craving spaciousness, and they know what they need to do. They need to tune into themselves in order to succeed. And so a lot of my work is creating that space for them and having fun while doing it, giving themselves compassion and grace. And that's why I really, really love EFT, because it allows us to verbally move through our shit and then feel an actual feeling. And when it comes to manifestation, the feeling is the most important thing. It can shift your resonance in 30 seconds. And those of you that are on here know that you've experienced it for yourself. So somebody asked me yesterday, what would be really fun for you in your business? And before that question, I was like, oh, I really should do X, Y, and Z in my business this month. Like, that would be a logical, practical, human thing to like want to do. And there was just like, when you have a should, I know like my coach Joy Kingsborough says, anytime you say should, you're lying to yourself. And I'm like, yeah, I should do that. Like, it doesn't spark me up. And any of you that know me know that I gotta feel it in order for me to be on board. But when I thought about what was really fun for me, my response was, it's really fun for me to help women share themselves with the world. And it's really fun for me to watch people tell the world who they are. Because in that line, like, watching women, because each of you know, if you're like me, sorry, it says it's paused, but if you're like me, you know that you got something. There's something about you. There's something you're good at. You might still be discovering it, but you can feel there's something within you that is different and that is really, really needed right now. And so, before I broke through this, I remember I kept saying, I need clarity. I need clarity. I'm craving. I just need to know what to do. I need to know who my ideal client is. I need to know what my message is. And I was like, had this sense of constant urgency. And I remember like wanting to grasp to any program I could to get the answer and who could help me, because I'm already so far behind. I need to hurry up. So give me some thumbs up if you guys can resonate with that. That's how I felt. And I went through what I call a season of surrender. It was actually a summer of surrender. I really committed to doing the spiritual emotional work. And any of you that know me know that like spiritual emotional work has to come first. I taught this last night in my manifestation course. Spiritual emotional work comes first, then comes the inspired action, and then comes the practical, tangible, this is what you do next. But see, what I was doing before I broke through was I was like trying to do the tangible, what do I need to do to get what I want? It's who do you need to be? Who I needed to be was connected to myself. I needed to get to know who I was and the way I worked. And the way I worked was different than most of the world. And that is probably true for the most of you watching as well. The way you work is not the way that the most of the world is doing it. And it's really confusing and it's really frustrating and it can be really emotionally draining. So what is fun for me in my business is working with you beautiful women that feel like you're wrong, that feel like you're crazy, that know that there's something trying to be birthed within you, but you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why can't I get it together? There's nothing wrong with you. The other thing that I also know when it comes to people working with me, you're often quite intuitive, but you're afraid to trust your voice. You're afraid to say what you think. And it's usually linked to an earlier experience in your life where when you spoke up, you were criticized, you lost friends, you were judged. And so if any of this is resonating with you, this is the work I love to do. It's really fun for me to have you one-on-one because I can bust you through this quite quickly. And the other thing about telling people who you really are was a huge fear of mine, because for two reasons. Number one, I was raised quite religious and I was told that spirituality looked one way. So for me to tell people who I was spiritual in a different way, super scary. Still something I'm moving through. But that's one of the things that we tap on, is your fear of being seen in a big way and taking up a lot of space. And now I just forgot the second thing I was going to say, but The other thing is that I was afraid that if I told people who I really was, they really weren't going to like me and I was going to get a lot of criticism. Thumbs up if you guys agree with that, or hearts. That is everyone that I work with. Like, if I use my voice, if I say something different, because my way is different, because I don't see anyone else out there doing it the way I'm doing it, I'm going to be criticized. People are going to think I'm crazy, and what I'm doing is super weird. Just to add on top of that, what I'm doing is super weird. I'm literally telling people to tap on their face, like, super weird. But what I realized is when you share who you are with the world, the freaking world lights up around you. And that's what happened. People fell in love with, like, the weirdness that I was. And because it takes so much bravery, but it's so freaking worth it. So if you guys are watching this and you're like, I'm confused, I don't know what to do, my intuition is telling me this, or I can't even hear my intuition right now, it's a process of learning to trust it. And the more you move towards it and lean into it, it will show you the way. So, some of the things I wrote down was, when it comes to doing this work, the opposite is true from what the rest of the world is telling you. You don't need to take a bunch of action. You need to connect with yourself first. If you're having a hard time connecting with yourself, that's what I do. I teach you how to do that, and I help you get connected. The other thing is, using affirmations, which there's the 21 Days of Tapping is happening in a month, and then that's going to be launching next week, which just amplifies your guys' results. As you all know, anyone who's been in that program is life-changing. And getting the right support. Like, I continually move towards the people, and I still do this. Before I ever had the resources, I was just like, you over there, I need you in my life. And I would just tell them that I want to work with you. Every single thing I've wanted, I got. That's a great affirmation. Everything I ever wanted, I got, and I moved towards it. So trust your intuition, trust your nudges. The connection you're craving is with yourself. So be courageous. I sit down in front of a mirror. That's the way I do it. And I connect to me. I shelf everything else, and I ask myself, what does my soul feel like? Who is Jackie? Not my body, not all the things that I am, but who am I? Feel into who you are and the vastness of that. What else did I want to tell you? So, every couple months, I open up the doors to work with me in a 6-week, really intimate, one-on-one, like, deep dive. And the women that come to me beforehand, they're incredible. I'm like, every time I work with people that are my people, I always say, I want the world to know you. And I want the world to know you. And that is my mission, is to expand and grow myself so I can expand and grow each and every one of you. And I'm about to scale huge right now, and I'm declaring it because I can feel it, and I have all the pieces in place, and it's going to happen. So in the next 6 months, my reach is going to get really big, and I've been really impacting this beautiful group of intimate people, and you don't need a big following to have a big impact, but it's time to go bigger. And so the women that I bring into this 6-week course, it's a one-on-one experience, and beforehand, they're like so frustrated with themselves because they know what they need to do. They know that they just need to overcome themselves, but they're also very lost and confused, and they're kind of on the brink of like, I just want to fucking quit. I just want to burn it all down. Not always, but there's usually some kind of that energy. And after they start working with me, it's so cool because you start to see them not only step out, and maybe you're already visible, but really showing the world who you are on a deeper level. And it creates this insane connection that everyone is craving, yourself included, that brings people in like magnets. And when people come in like magnets, money comes in like magnets, impact comes in. It's really beautiful. So, and then the other side of it is just like pure celebration and joy. Not just because the income and the impact, because you get to fully be yourself. So what's fun for me is helping women like you birth your visions into the world. And my work is the best in the one-on-one atmosphere. So I invite you guys, if you are feeling called to actually make it happen this year, consider working with me one-on-one, because I believe in you. I want the world to know you, and you have to do the inner and the outer work equally, and that's what I offer. We always start with the unconscious blocks to success. We always start with those old stories, old fears through tapping, and then we also lead with inspired action. But I'm not telling you what to do. I'm communicating with you every day. And this is something that I crave. I'm like, I just want a coach that I can just talk to, like just vent to. Like, ask me a question about this, ask me a question about that. So I really commit and I give you all of me. And I just wanted to make that invitation to all of you because it's amazing to see some of the women that I've worked with now. I had a woman come to me last fall that she was like, my partner's like, you're gonna go have to get a day job if you don't figure your shit out. So she was like, I either have to go get a day job or I have to make this work. And within 6 weeks, she had clients. She's a full brand now. She's hosting retreats. She's like killing it. And it's funny because people forget that was even who they were. So it's all about overcoming your old self to become your new self, the wildly wealthy woman, and really having someone hold that belief for you, unwavering belief. Allison says, that's funny you said in front of a mirror. I used to do that on a daily basis when I was much younger. Literally, it's so simple. All the work goes back to the basics. Mirror work, I even do it with like one-on-one clients that working with body stuff, especially. I get them to sit in front of a mirror. It's really cool to watch over the course of our work, like from the first time they sat in front of the mirror, all the fears that come up to now they like can't wait to go sit in front of the mirror and seeing actually the action they're taking on healing their bodies, like incredible. Mirror work is like Louise Hay's like original mirror work affirmations, but I include EFT in there, and EFT is like the magic wand that makes it all happen. So my intention tonight was to make space for myself to be felt and inspired guidance to come through. So make that intention for yourself. When you're taking time to tune in, we sometimes have this idea that it has to be like a perfect yoga mat and a nice candle and essential oils, but it's like just intend to feel the vastness and power that you are, and everything else comes from there. Pull back, be the observer of your life, and feel what's going on. And when I can feel what's going on, I'm like, whoa, things are about to blow up. And I'm having that mirrored back to me in people every day. They're like, whoa, Jackie, your work's changing my life. Holy shit, people are finding out about you. So it's like, it's really valuable to just pull back and look at the big vision, especially when we get stuck in that fear, those fearful moments of like, is this working? This isn't working. I need to make money, blah, blah, blah. Pull yourself out of that. Look at the big vision. What is your intention? What is your intention in your relationships? What is your intention in your health? What is your intention in your business? What is your intention with your money? Go back to the intention. My intention is to get tapping into the hands and homes of people all over the world to help the world know you. And it's really fun for me to help you show the world who you really are, and you know who you really are as well. Anyway, the more space I take, the more money I make. That's the affirmation I'm going to leave you guys tonight. There's this 6-week program. The doors are open right now. I have 3 spots. There's usually 6. I have 3 spots right now available. It's $2,500. There's payment plans available. And you guys need to do this. Like, if you are ready to transform your business and your relationships and your life this year, I know I can help you. If you're in this, watching this, you're my tribe, and I love you, and I'm committed to making that happen. All right, you guys, have an amazing rest of your night, and let me know, what does your soul feel like? Comment below. I want to know what your soul feels like. Oh, because I can feel how powerful each and every one of you are, and I want us all, when one of us rises, we all rise together. So I'm just really excited for this year and for each and every one of you. All right, it's all happening for you now. These are some of the affirmations. I can feel it all happening for you now. All the pieces are falling into place. The right people are lining up to set you up for bigger impact and success. There's an expansive knowingness and to a feeling and allowing that it's being all played out perfectly. I can always allow myself to have what I want with the knowingness that my relationship with the universe, I'm always provided. I'm always taken care of. I'm so thankful for this belief and knowingness. And I'll end off, the way it works is through you. So connect to the Eunice that is you. Connect to the Eunice that is you. Who am I? What does my soul feel like? The way it works is through you. So delete all the other chaos and come back to yourself. All right, guys. Happy Saturday night. Yes, Saturday night. Thank you so much for giving your time to me tonight. Please invite people into this group that you think need it. Send me a message if you guys want to do some one-on-one work together. And let's kick ass this year. All right? Love you. Bye.